Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 250,000 subscribers. We're almost there. We actually got a couple thousand yesterday, so keep hitting the subscribe button. But more importantly, share with a friend. Because, look, post-pardoning of Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, the question is, who's really at risk in the upcoming new Trump administration? And this question was brought forth by Norm Eisen in an article in Newsweek. Here's what it says. Pardons may be key to protecting people from political persecution. And of course, this is an opinion piece. Next part. Here's what he says. Whatever you may think of Hunter Biden pardon, there is a far more important clemency issue at hand. Preventing widespread politicized prosecutions in the next administration. President Joe Biden is uniquely positioned to stave this off, and he should use his remaining power to protect the many likely victims of President-elect Donald Trump's planned retribution. Indeed, in the face of the nomination of Kash Patel, who has publicly vowed to attack Trump's critics to head the FBI, Biden has been discussing the very idea with senior aides and is feeling pressure from Democratic allies to act quickly. Those needing protection include those who testified against Trump and others the former and future president has directly threatened, including figures such as yours truly, Michael Cohen. Doing so would spare them and all of us the trauma of watching people face public punishment for having done their jobs with fidelity to the rule of law and the Constitution, but against Trumpian headwinds. Now, let me be clear. This is not new. This is not new. All right? In fact, because I testified before not one committee, not two, 7 congressional committees. I testified 7 times before congressional committees. And as a result, over the years, I am not the first person to say, hey, something needs to be done. In fact, this issue, this topic has been around for quite a period of time. I want to show you a clip of now first-termer Dan Goldman had to say regarding this topic. Play that clip.
Mr. Chairman, you have repeatedly said that this committee is all about protecting the First Amendment. And what's unfortunate here is that we are talking about Twitter and that we are not talking about Republican government officials around the country who are banning books. And we are not talking about—
Would the gentleman yield?
No, I will not. And we are not talking about Donald Trump jailing his former counsel to prohibit him from publishing a book that the president did not want. The former president literally jailed his enemy. And we're here talking about Twitter. Twitter. And even with Twitter, you cannot find actual evidence of any direct government censorship of any lawful speech. And when I say lawful, I mean non-criminal speech, because plenty of speech is non-criminal.
Yeah, I mean, this is part of the problem. Now, I want to go on and I want to show you what Congressman Jamie Raskin said years ago regarding the same exact topic, except at the time we had Joe Biden as president. Play the clip.
In the case of Michael Cohen, the president's former lawyer and confidant for many years. In August 2018, he pleaded guilty to campaign finance violations over large hush money payments he arranged before the 2016 election to keep porn star Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal from talking about sexual affairs they had with Donald Trump. You guys remember this one? Well, after Barr became Attorney General in February of 2019, he worked to kill further investigations related to those payoffs and suggested that Mr. Cohen's conviction on campaign finance charges itself be reversed, even though 6 months had already passed since Cohen had entered a guilty plea. Amazingly, after Cohen was in prison for a year and then being transferred out of prison to home confinement during COVID-19, Barr and the DOJ intervened to block his transfer because Cohen would not immediately accept as a condition of his ankle bracelet home confinement not to engage in First Amendment activities, specifically writing and publishing a book about Donald Trump or saying anything in public on TV or in the social media about Donald Trump. Cohen had already been home for 2 weeks when this unconstitutional demand from DOJ appeared, and when he and his attorney dared to ask questions about it, 3 federal marshals showed up with handcuffs and shackles, and he was returned to the Otisville Correctional Institute. There he spent 16 days in solitary confinement before they were able to get his case before a federal district judge, who immediately found that Barr's purpose, quote, in transferring Cohen from release on furlough and home confinement back to custody was retaliatory in response to Cohen desiring to exercise his First Amendment rights to publish a book critical of the president and to discuss the book on social media. Can you think of a more egregious example of weaponizing the Department of Justice for nakedly political purposes than imprisoning and putting in solitary confinement the president's own former lawyer simply because he wanted to exercise his First Amendment rights? Consider the...
I can't. In fact, I have fucking goosebumps watching this because I'm so angry. Because this is what Bill Barr ended up doing. Now, whether or not Donald knew about it, it's the one question I wish to God I can ask him, whether he was involved in it, or did Bill Barr just do this on his own to impress Donald, right? Plausible deniability. But to go even further, I'm not the only one who is now again in jeopardy. I may have been the first, and I constantly refer to myself as a political prisoner, but what's going to happen to people like Cassidy Hutchinson, Alyssa Farah Griffin, Nancy Pelosi, Liz Cheney, General Mark Milley, Vice President Mike Pence, Barack Obama, the Bidens, Adam Schiff, and so many others who individuals like Kash Patel, the nominee for the FBI, and then you have Pam Bondi, who will be the Attorney General. What if they play the same game that Bill Barr did? There are going to be too many. One is too much, but each and every person will be at risk for going through and having to live with the pain that's caused by this type of behavior, this weaponization of the Department of Justice. I want to show you something that Congressman Raskin said yesterday when he was on the Hill on CNN with Wolf Blitzer, talking about the necessity of pardons, whether it's a blanket pardon for everybody or blanket pardons and then for other individuals like myself, to be specifically named. Play that clip.
That potential Trump targets outside Congress should brace for possible indictments and legal action against them by Trump and his team?
I mean, I suppose the argument for it is that even if a person has done nothing wrong, that doesn't make any difference to Donald Trump if he perceives it to be a criminal offense just to cross swords with him politically. And in that event, I can understand the logic of exploring the possibility of protecting people who might be in that category. There are a lot of former Trump employees. Take, for example, Michael Cohen, somebody who Donald Trump and Attorney General Barr oversaw the jailing of, and he was put into solitary confinement for 17 days before a federal district judge in New York ordered that he be released and said that his being put into solitary confinement was clearly an act of retribution and political.
Yeah, retribution and retaliation. And it was actually ultimately a total of 51 days of solitary confinement. So I want to be very clear about this. The danger is not Donald Trump. It's not. He may say a lot of things. There's a lot of bluster that goes on during campaigns. The danger is who the transition team is putting before Donald Trump, who Donald Trump is going to nominate for positions like the FBI, like the Department of Justice. These are the people that have to be the guardrails We didn't have it with Bill Barr, that's certainly for sure. The question is, if Pam Bondi is confirmed by the Senate, will she do the same thing? You see, it's important and imperative that Biden had to protect Hunter Biden from what I know personally was coming down the pike. Question is, will he protect all Americans and not just his family? Because we matter too. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.